Hey guys, it's Enrico here, and we are live with episode number 12 of the Avanic interviews. We have today with us Zach Benson, and for the ones of you that don't know him yet, he's the #1 travel hacker I know. He's an amazing guy, and as usual, I'll let him introduce himself.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Zach Benson. So I pretty much travel the world for free. Like this past year, I've gotten over 100 free nights at 5-star hotels for myself and friends. It's been crazy. So just like you who are beginners, maybe you've never done this before. I only started doing this about a year ago, which is crazy how much success I've seen.
Amazing.
But I've been to over 50 different countries, pretty much travel the world for free now. So it's pretty awesome, man. I'm happy to be here.
Man, so you told me like 100 free nights in the past 12 months. So that's pretty much one night every 3?
Yeah, and I mean, not only for myself, but I got my girlfriend 14 free nights in Europe. She was in Switzerland, Austria. I got my other friend who's a famous thought leader from America. I got him 14 nights in Bali, in Bangkok, at some of the finest resorts there. And then also for myself. So, this past year I've been in 10 countries. So, yeah.
So you did almost one night out of you got 100 nights in a year. You got 10 countries in a year, and all of this thanks to social media?
Yes, all Instagram.
All Instagram specifically. So we are actually in the right group, guys, and this is the opportunity for you to understand how monetization on Instagram does not simply mean actually getting paid for something, but getting free experiences, like Zach has been able to get. But man, I have to ask you, because there are a lot of travel accounts. The travel niche is overpopulated. It's but how did you start? I mean, how did you start contacting? Because I believe you contacted them first, or did they reach out to you?
Yeah, so to tell you guys a little bit about myself first, I actually got in the Instagram game about 4 years ago, and one of my friends was like, "Hey, Zach, you need to buy this account." It was like $10,000. I didn't know what I was doing really, but I made most of my money back from shoutouts because at that time we could really grow really fast, 8,000 followers a day. It was crazy. But now with all the algorithm changes, it's not as fast.
It's harder, yeah.
It's a lot harder, right? And so that's kind of what got me into the Instagram thing. And then from there, I just kept on learning and asking other people for advice and paying for consultations and stuff like that. And I'm a dancer, so I'm a professional dancer. I was on So You Think You Can Dance, the popular TV show in America. And because of that, I started traveling the world, teaching dance clinics everywhere I go. And, passion became a passion of mine. It was being able to see how people live and arrange their lives and learn about their cultures, learn about myself, and then give back and do what I love. That's the life. But the problem is that, none of these studios wanted to pay for my travel all the time. They would be like, "Hey, I'll pay for your classes."
Yeah, but of course.
The hotel, the airfare, that's all you. So I had to figure out, I was like, there's got to be a way that I can get free travel. And I remember my friend saying "Hey, well, my friend, she gets sponsored by AirAsia." And so I emailed her and I was like, "Hey, how do you get free flights from AirAsia?" And I was like, I never had a conversation with her before and I never got a response. So you know why? Because no relationship, no trust.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to build a little bit of the relationship in order to do to network the right way. And by the way, for you guys that this might sound absurd and you've been looking for months on how to do it, at the end of the interview, so show some love. At the end of the interview, I will share the link where you can get the free book from Zach on how to actually do this, on how actually to get started. But I'm more curious. I want to know about your adventure, man. Because this is not even it's a job. I understand that it's a job because it takes most of your time. You enjoy it, so you're not saying it's a 9 to 5 where you actually have a boss and everything. But it is a job. It is a business. So you said you tried or at least understand how to get sponsored by a big airline, for example, AirAsia. Okay, but which one was the first? Which was the first experience that you got through Instagram?
Yeah, so About March last year. So yeah, like I went to the Philippines and I went to Boracay. So if you guys haven't been to Boracay, it's like one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. White sand, it's amazing. And basically, I contacted a hotel, and this was my first collaboration. And I got two free nights in one of their best suites. So everything was free. I got free room, free board, spa experience, activities. They have this other thing called the Boracay Sunset Cruiser. So it's like this huge yacht where everybody comes on and parties, and they have super slides and you jump off, and it's a crazy amount of fun.
You had fun.
And, yeah. And that's the lifestyle, right? It's like,
definitely.
It's like people are attracted to that lifestyle. So by simply you yourself living that lifestyle, it attracts more of the right people that you want, like around you. And so that's what I thought. That's what I wanted to do.
And in terms of, for example, content, in terms of actual value you give out to your followers, to the people around you, did you focus mainly on offline? So actually working offline, like as you said, with dance classes and stuff, or did you focus online as well? Did you start networking online full time as well?
Yeah, I mean, so with the dancing, it's like I had to build my brand, right? So nobody knew who I was. Like, I'd write people and I'd send out these emails to these dance studios. So just for example, like, it's the same thing what I do at the hotels. But no one would respond to me. They're like, who is this guy? You don't have a professional website. You don't have any testimonials. Nobody knows you. You haven't done much, right? So why would I pay you $1,000 an hour to come and teach my students?
Yeah.
So yeah, you had to build that brand. So that's why I was like, okay, now I need to audition for So You Think You Can Dance. Each season I made it further. I made it pretty far. I didn't go all the way, but it was enough that I could use that name and leverage that competition, so that when I was reaching out to studios, I could be like, hey, I'm Zach from So You Think You Can Dance, like, season 8. And that show has, it's got a really good reputation, and that helped me seal some deals. So even at that time, I didn't have much, but I had that show and I had a good video that my friend made for free, and that was enough.
I understand. And like, how long did it take you to start though? Like from when you decided, okay, I'm going to reach out to companies, I'm going to reach out to hotels, I'm going to reach out to actual airplane companies, to the time they actually said, okay, yes, we are going to sponsor you. How long did it take you?
Because I had so much experience with dancing, and I'm not afraid of hearing no's. Like, guys, the more no's that you can hear will lead you to that one yes. But I feel like a lot of people don't try enough. They don't put themselves out there enough to actually get rejected again and again and again. And then finally they have that success and that yes. So for me to just apply what I learned dancing and teaching dance clinics all around the world to getting free hotel stays and free travel, it was a lot less. Like, I shaved off a lot of time for my learning curve. Like, when I just applied it to hotels, that's how I was able to get 100 free nights just in this past year. And I've only done it in a year because, I did a lot of trial and error with dance for like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years before I actually started to get money. And then, 7 years before I started making $1,000 an hour. And that's what I charge now. And that's what I get.
Man, and I do assume that you love doing what you actually do. So you get paid $1,000 an hour to do actually something for an hour that you love. So that's pretty amazing. But the thing is that a couple of years ago, nobody would have said that with Instagram, with the social media, you could actually get something for free from even big corporations. I might understand. People might say, okay, this this brand is going to pay you to actually be there. This brand is going to pay you to actually fly over to them. So how does this, like, I still, you've said it multiple times now, but to me, it's still very complicated on how you did it. Like, simply networking with the people, simply going no after no after no after no. That's
Well, that's one thing. That's one part of it, right? It's like first building that brand, that credibility, right? Having the right amount of followers, the right networks.
And what do you think is the right amount of followers to do this?
I mean, like I said, like my girlfriend got 14 free nights for free. And she only had like she only has like 200 followers, but she leveraged some of my bigger accounts that are over 100,000 followers. And we use that 100,000 follower account to get the free nights.
Perfect. And then going more technical on this, okay, because let's go more Instagram on this. Are we talking about like 100K personal or 100K reposting accounts?
100K reposting accounts.
Perfect. So if I get this straight, okay, you have 100K reposting accounts which gets a decent amount of engagement. You look for the places you want to stay at, and you ask them for content, and in exchange for shout outs, mentions, story shout outs, power likes, whatever kind of growth service you can give them, they give you free nights. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I mean, that's actually going above and beyond, because, I mean, let's face it, everybody wants to grow, everybody needs more content and more exposure, everybody wants more customers and sell more products. But it goes down to this. The basic rule is value exchange and, over delivering, like figuring out like, okay, what do these hotels really need? They need good quality content. Why? Because they all have social media accounts that they want to post on and attract, future customers. That's one thing, right? But then it's like they want exposure too. So that's why, what piques their interest is these big follower accounts.
Yeah, so like basically we have people in this group that have been able to grow travel reposting accounts to over 100K in less than 6 months. Okay, that's we have people that've grown it to 50K in 4 months. We have people that know how to grow reposting accounts. And oftentimes, like you hear the question is, how do I monetize? How do I make money out of it? And that really depends, because I always tell people that first of all you have to be focused on your goal, understand what's the end goal of this. The end goal, the people might say it's to make money. No, that's not the end goal. That's kind of a result, but the end goal has to be something different. I want to be a traveler. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to start my own brand. I want to have my own clothing line. I don't know. All of this eventually, if you're successful, will make you money. But the point is not to make money, it's to create something for yourself. So if at this moment you understand that you're good at networking and you know how to grow an Instagram travel account, why don't you follow what Zach is saying at this moment and try at least to monetize this, to monetize experiences, to get that week in Florence that you've never been able to because you couldn't afford it. And now maybe you might actually be able to just pay for the flights and get 7 nights for free in Florence or in Paris or in Amsterdam. And naming all those cities, like really, Zach, I want to know where actually you've been to thanks to Instagram.
So I mean, all over Philippines, Boracay, Cebu, Manila, like I got all free hotels and stays there. Vietnam, all over Asia, Thailand, Bangkok, Phuket, Koh Samui. I just wrapped up a big project with the W Hotel in Koh Samui, so I stayed at their nicest suite. Everything was paid for, red carpet, like $1,000 a night room. Actually, guys, I just got an email from one of the top resorts in Maldives, and that's always been my dream to go to the Maldives. And basically, they offered me a six free nights there for full board, over $25,000 in value. Like, I'll even show it to you.
Pretty amazing, man.
I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, perfectly, actually, perfectly.
But it's basically saying like, hey, we can give you 5 nights in this hotel, and then free airport transfers, 1 free night in the other hotel, $25,000 value. Like,
no, man,
all thanks to Instagram.
Yeah, man, that seems okay. Then this is a serious deal. Then we have to get, like, for example, like, let's start with something easier. Like, what's the best tip for something starting out is? What's the best piece of advice you could give to anybody that has a travel reposting account?
Yeah, I mean, guys, it's just all about like like the travel reposting accounts are used to inspire people, right? So first, I want to ask you guys if you could, because we named off all these other countries, right? If you could wake up tomorrow and be any place in the world, like tonight, you close your eyes. You wake up tomorrow, you can be anywhere in the world for 2 weeks, free vacation. Guys, which countries would you want to be in? Like, start naming them. I want to know, because the world is beautiful and you guys got to explore it. And, that's one tip I have is like a lot of people, like, they're afraid to put themselves out there. They're afraid of rejection. So you got to get over that. You're going to hear a lot of no's. But then for how you use your travel account, right? First, start small. Figure out ways that you can get collaborate with other clothing companies or fitness companies or like whatever, like travel companies, right? They all have these different travel products that they want to promote and sell. Like, start building your network, offering posts like, hey, I'll do a couple of posts in exchange for this free travel product, right? So you start small, and if it's good and it works out well, then you ask that person, hey, who else do you know that might be interested in me promoting the products? And then you start building your network slowly by, first, you're getting free travel products. So you can say, hey, I've worked with this brand. They have good things to say. I've worked with their friend's brand. And you build up those references, those testimonials, so that when you do pitch those bigger companies, they're like, okay, this is somebody. Instead of you just being like, hey, can I stay at your hotel for free?
Of course.
You haven't worked with anybody. So that's the first tip is start small. Celebrate those small wins.
That's 100% right. Like, we said it in other interviews as well, that sometimes people tend to overestimate what they actually can do and they just give up. Or if it doesn't happen in a week or two, they just give up. When actually consistency pays. This is not motivational stuff. This is how actually things work. Like, you're not going to have results in 2 weeks. Well, I'm sorry for you, man. It's going to take probably 3 months. Not 3 months, probably be 6. I don't know. I don't know when you're going to make it. I know that if you work hard enough, you're going to make it. That's because you're not going to stop working until you actually make it. And that's the point. But actually play it smart. Like Zach is saying, you can go pitching Delta Airlines for a free flight. Like, nobody's going to read your email. Nobody's going to care. Maybe if you have like a small, even a friend, a friend that works as, like, I don't know, a private chartering company. I don't know. I'm just pitching ideas there. Okay. Yeah. Know a friend that knows a guy that worked as like private jets for whoever, like for celebrities. I don't know. You might actually get a deal with them just saying, look, I have this luxury account. I have this travel reposting account. And I want to get, like, what do you think? I mean, I can get you featured there. And if the results are good, you give me a free flight. Do you think, would that work? Is that something you would do? Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd start small, like celebrate the small wins. So it's like, because so many people are trying to get so many clients, right? And they want more and more and more. But what they need to really focus on is the current ones that they have and do a really good job. So guys, that's why it's like, work with these smaller brands, build up your credibility, build up your reputation, build up your following, your network before you pitch these big brands for free flights. Because without the network, like, even if you have a 50,000 follower account, 100,000 follower account, like, you need to have other accounts in your network to pitch these really big companies. And before you do that, you need to have worked with, some of the top brands in the world, like maybe, like for me, like Four Seasons, Ritz-Carlton, W Hotel, Sheraton, JW Marriott. Agoda just called. Agoda wants to do some work. I just finished up a campaign with the Dubai Board of Tourism. So I can kind of name drop, but then I can back it up because I'm like, okay, well, if you want to talk to this person, I can get them on a call, like whenever you want. You know what I mean? So it's like,
that's
those connections, that network.
Exactly. But we have Jordan asking like for a quick recap, and I want to do just for a quick recap for the people that starting watching the live right now. So Zach here is a travel hacker that's been able to travel 100 nights for free in the last year, 10 countries in 1 year, closed amazing, and when I say amazing, I mean amazing collaborations with travel companies. He just got a deal to go to Maldives, which is worth 25K. And he started all of this. Now, people that haven't seen this will say, okay, this guy has 250K followers on a personal account. Now, he's a professional dancer. He went on television in the States, but he started this with a reposting account, with a travel reposting account. And when he said, Jordan is also asking how many followers would you need to be able to make it, he did a really good example where his girlfriend started with 200 followers, like a 200, like 200, not 200K, 200 followers account, but leveraged the power of his own travel network. So here, from what I understand and what he's just said, it's actually that you need to be able to leverage the power of a network, of a travel network. And my advice here, and I want to see if Zach agrees with me here, is that if you are going to start a network, like a travel network, I would make one account for every sub-niche. So I would make, for example, a travel reposting account specifically for awesome bed and breakfast, one reposting account for awesome resorts, one reposting account only for natures, one reposting account only for backpackers. So you have 5 accounts in one phone, you hustle your ass off, you take 5 new reposting accounts, you start them off, one for each very specific sub-niche, and then you go pitching for the small companies in that specific sub-niche. That's what I think might be actually a valuable input. Do you agree with me, Zach?
Yes, absolutely. And guys, it's all about creating assets, right? Why would you continue to pay other networks for placement, right? For posts, right? So that's why it's all about you growing your account, your network, right? And all those different niches. And then, maybe expanding into food and spa treatments and luxury lifestyle, some other stuff. But first start small. And 100%, man. That's what's up.
and James, now I think that the situation, like the starting point within you and James is kind of similar. So you started with is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, is a master. And like you started with dance that has nothing to do with travel in that specific sense, but you made your dance image, you made your dance influencer position, and you grow on top of it a travel reposting account, and that gave you credibility. So what James is asking is how do you start reaching out to schools since it's not famous? We have to say one thing: James has a pretty cool Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Instagram account. So that's something where you can start off. But how, more specifically, not to the travel, but to your dance part of the business, before you went to, do you think you can dance? How did you approach people?
Yeah. So, hey, James, actually my friend was just visiting here from Brazil, and he just left. He was here for 2 months. So it's cool that you say that. And, there's a lot of different ways that you can go about doing this. Like I said, first start small, start in your community, your city, start reaching out to other people. Make sure that when you reach out to these schools and you email them or you call them, you tell them who you are. You're like, hey, I'm James. I'm a professional jiu-jitsu teacher. I've done this and that. I'm award-winning artist. And basically, show them some pictures, show them, your videos of your work, and just end it by saying, hey, I'd love to hop on a call and discuss more. When are you free? Does Tuesday or Wednesday work? Right. And so then it piques their interest because they're like, wow, this video is awesome. Right. I want this guy at my school because he seems like a great guy. He's got good skills. And I just want to offer something to my students. So you start there. Maybe you do it for free. Right? You do a free class, and nobody can really say no to something for free. Those are the best things in life, right? And from that experience at that school, you ask them for a testimonial, and then you ask them, hey, who else do you know in the community or in other parts of Brazil? And you just continue to build and grow and travel. And before you know it, once you have enough testimonials, you can actually start charging for this stuff and get paid. But again, it's never about the money. It's about the teaching. It's the passion. It's the love for the art.
James has a school right now in the States. But what I think, like what Zach said, that's really important is that your content has to be on point. Your videos have to be good. You might take, okay, let's say like this, something that pops into my mind, like let's say, like he said, go pitch for other schools, do a free lesson and show them that your content is valuable. When you go to do a free lesson to another school, you actually have material to get other content. So you actually start making content on your Instagram feed, on your stories, wherever, from you going to other schools, actually doing a free Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu lesson. Let's say they are, I don't know, they do MMA, they do whatever they want to do. They don't have a specific Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner or master, and then you go there and you do it for free. You get the content from them, and most importantly, you get them to follow you on your Instagram account. So you get super targeted followers that might actually be interested, and you taught them, okay? And you do it once, you do it twice, you do it the third time, fourth time, fifth time. Then what happens is, I believe, and I think Zach will agree with me on this, after the 10th time you do it, probably the 11th time, they are going to pitch you. You're not going to be calling, like, you're not going to be messaging people to get there to an 11th time, but people might say, okay, I want Team O'Connor to come to my gym and tag me on his own page and say he was here and do a video with me, and start creating interactive content on social media, because you're actually going to places and starting to shout them out. And they might be interested in receiving one of those because they have no idea how Instagram accounts works. And you do, James. That's what I think. It's a pretty good way to start out anyway.
Yes, definitely.
And when you get more recognized, when people start to know you, which is what I believe happened for Zach, you have to. I don't want you guys to think that this was easy, because I don't think Zach will tell you that this was easy. I'm pretty sure. I know he's a hard worker, and I know he's a planner. So like this, this is not something guaranteed. This is not something that you do it a couple of times and then people come bashing at your door, begging you to give them a shout out. This is something you actually have to plan and to work for.
Exactly. Right? I mean, that's why, it took me maybe 7 to 10 years before I started traveling the world, teaching dance and doing this kind of stuff. But that's why we take these courses. That's why we have these teachers and these people in our lives so that we can shave off time from our learning curves, so we don't have to make the same mistakes as they did, right? So they just teach us, do this, this, and that. Go to your Instagram account this way and that way. Pitch these hotels this way and that way. So you guys don't have to waste your time, because time is money. And it's like, dude, you want to use your time wisely, right? But it takes time.
Mm-hmm. Jordan is asking if you have let's do some promotions here, like for real. I'm curious as well. If you like one of your Instagram accounts, like the one, do you mind sharing one of your accounts, or your personal?
So guys, let me show you a new account that we're growing, right? Mm-hmm. It's called Tribe Influencer, and that's what my course is called as well. So TIRBE Influencer. And I mean, it's actually, today is the mark of the 18th day, so it's about 4,000, 5,000 followers in the first month. So I mean, just by having an account like this and expanding your network, right, you can get some free stuff.
And guys, don't think, I want to contextualize this. Guys, don't think that if your first account ever, it's at this point, that you will be able to monetize it. He is able to monetize it because he has a brand to back it up, he has a network to back it up, and he has the knowledge to back it up. And guess what? Yes. For all three of these things, He has worked for years. Okay, so get ready to this. If you know to get the account to that point, and I believe most of you do. By the way, guys, you can see this is a viral reposting account. Okay, and it's not. I don't believe. Like he said. Like I don't believe you need to be like this huge, amazing professional photographer to actually do any of this. You can get the content that people like, and just know how to leverage Instagram algorithm, how to leverage content reposting and that kind of things. And then it's, I believe, good old networking, right?
Yes, that's it. And I mean, there's a little bit more to it too, because like, you know, these hotels, they do want good content and stuff. So if you are a photographer, videographer, I mean, that helps as well. That's extra added value. But even if you're not, who do you know in that country that's a photographer? Or hire one for an hour, spend $100, right? Get 15 edited photos. Boom. 3 nights at a 5-star hotel, $500 to $1,000 a night. I mean, I think that's worth it.
Yeah, it is. It is. It definitely is. And I believe also that maybe pitching in the highest season might not be the smartest move at this point, or pitching, as we said before, pitching the biggest hotels is not like the right thing to start, right?
No, not at all. I mean, it's all about the timing, right? Some people, you know, some hotels, like they're in high season, peak season, right? So you have to do your research before you actually pitch, because once you pitch, it's like they're like, okay, they don't really want to be pitched again and again and again.
Yeah.
It's like 100%. That's why it's like there are thousands and thousands of hotels around the world, but you might as well learn how to do it the right way. Because 100%. I mean, you don't want to miss out on all these big brands and cool opportunities and experiences.
100%. But man, I'm astonished, because this is something that I believe people underestimate. This is something that people think it's something completely exclusive for stars, that being a travel influencer or getting a gig, like paid hotel, paid airplane, paid whatever, it's something that Cristiano Ronaldo gets. But it's something that if you work for it, like with Instagram, or like I believe any other social media platform, I mean, you have Instagram at this moment, it's kind of easier because the content that people like, it's pictures and videos. So hotels, travels, pictures and videos, that's it. Probably if you are like, I don't know, building guitars, you might want to use SoundCloud. I don't know, just guessing something. But at the same time, it's not rocket science. At the same time, do you agree, man? Yeah,
I agree. Totally, man. It's just like what you said, man. Yeah, keep going. I love what you're saying.
That's the point is like Zach said, you had before, it took 7 years to him. He took 7 years because, I mean, he had to build a brand, he had to work, he had to do his thing. But right now, I mean, we are doing courses, like we did an Instagram course, like he's done this travel hacking course, so that you guys can figure out the mistakes we took, the mistakes we made, and actually don't do them again, don't repeat them, and actually be able to use this for the better. And I'm just happy this interview is going on, because you see, this is real. Because, you know, sometimes people...
This is real.
Yeah, sometimes people, you know, I've had this friend of a friend of mine just told me he got this, you know, I met the guy on the internet that said that he got a free ticket. No, this is the real thing. Zach here got the free tickets, got the free nights. Listen, this is real.
It's the real thing, guys. It's the real deal. And, you know, I'm all about being real 100%. And it's like, guys, think about how many different ways that you can leverage this. Like, once you have an account with a big following, like in this course, I teach you guys how to negotiate anything, right? Not just free travel, which is amazing. Because think about it. Like, once you're at these places, you're at these 5-star resorts that only really, you know, wealthy people can usually afford. Think about there's so many different networking opportunities. Think about the things that you can learn, right? There's going to be so much growth as you actually do these experiences, because you're going to be meeting amazing people. And by leveraging these accounts, getting free travel, you'll also be able to monetize your other services and products and other passions by building this bigger network around the world as you travel for free. And yeah, it's amazing. That's pretty much all I've done like this past year. And a lot of things have been opening up for me just because I've been able to meet such amazing people. And I've learned so much. I've grown so much. And I feel like if you're not traveling, then you're not growing.
And man, I have you have to share with us one encounter that you weren't expecting, or one friendship, or one connection that I don't know, he ended up to something else that you had just because you got a free night on an awesome 5-star hotel.
Yeah. So I was in Thailand for a month, just like last month. And basically I met this amazing guy. You know, he took me out, almost every night, showed me the expat life, living the life like the celebrities. And he just kept on introducing me to people. So that's how I got introduced to Agoda. That's how I got introduced to Soneva, one of the top resorts in Thailand and in Maldives, right? So because of that one person and that one experience, like.
But did you know him before, or did you meet him on your trip?
No, I met him on my trip. I met him in Bangkok on my trip at a 5-star hotel.
And that's it. Right? You just started talking to him, networking, like exchanging ideas, views, and stuff, and that happened.
Yeah, it's just basically taking an interest in someone, like, asking them, like, where are you from? Or expressing a genuine interest in them, giving them a compliment, and striking up a conversation with anybody wherever you're at, wherever you are. Like, maybe it's on the airplane, you're like, hey, what is this book about? Tell me about this. Or you're at an event, you strike up a conversation and say, hey, I have this Instagram account that's all about motivation. I'd love to do an interview you and feature you on it, right? Everybody loves to get featured and get press and exposure. So by you guys leveraging your Instagram accounts, there's just so many different ways that you can use it to connect with more powerful people. And it's actually, when you meet these people, they're like, wow, you have 5,000, 10,000, 50,000 followers on Instagram. You're legit, right? And then you use that to give them exposure, give hotels, anybody, and you make partnerships, new friends, and seal more deals.
100%. Guys, try to understand that he was at the right place at the right time, only because he had the right Instagram strategy and the right hustling capability to actually play it out. That's it. That's was no famous friend that helped him. I mean, he might have been, I don't know this, but I don't think so. Given the things he's saying, he did it by himself. Him, a laptop, and just he knew how to dance and he loved travel. That's what happened. That's all. Just I'm passionate about teaching. I'm passionate about making people better and myself better, and travel, right? So that's you could have done. I mean, from another perspective, I can see you could have been working in an office and after hours helping people, teaching people how to dance. Okay, I believe many people say, okay, I'm passionate about dancing, but he took a risk. I don't think when you and I hope a lot of you that are watching these interviews and some of you that are in the group will actually take the risk to actually say, okay, I'll do this full time. I'll put my head down and I'll make it work. And you realize that when you actually make it work, you're going to laugh. I mean, you're going to laugh at the times where you said, okay, I'm never going to make it, because all of us, I mean, I don't know I do believe sometimes, okay, guys, I'm not going to make it. And then 20 minutes later, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to make it. That's fine. Everybody has his ups and downs. Everybody gets the no's. 95% of people you pitch are going to say no. Is that your experience? At the beginning, what percentage of people are going to say no, or not even reply, not say no, just not even care?
Yeah, think about it, guys. I mean, we live in a world where you can email anybody and find anybody's email just like
Yeah.
that, right? So think about how many influencers, and I actually asked my friend who's a GM and COO of a big hotel, it's like, how many daily emails do you get from these influencers wanting to stay at your hotel? And he was like, about 25 to 30 a day.
A day.
Right? Most of those go unread. Most of those don't get responses because they don't know what to say. They don't know how to offer value. They don't know how to follow up. They don't know how to talk to them on the phone. You know, and there's a right way to do it and a wrong way. So it's just like, you know, anything that you do, right? It's like, if you don't have a teacher, if you don't know how to do things the right way, you're going to fail again and again and again. But that's just a waste of time. It's better to hire, like, you know,
a professional.
A professional to teach you how to do it and not to do it.
Like, at the end of the day, hiring a professional to do a job you don't know how to do, in terms of money and time, it's going to always save both money and time. People think that hiring a professional you're going to spend more, but if you do something and that a professional is needed for, all the time you have to fix it, to change it, to actually fix it again and change it and make it work, it's going to cost you a shitload of money more. And like, this is wonderful insight to actually understand what you want to do with your Instagram page, or what you can actually do. On previous interviews, like on the 11 previous interviews, we have had digital nomads, we have had networking experts, we've had Facebook experts, we have funnel experts, we've had a lot of people. And I want you guys to realize that all of those 12 interviews don't mean anything by themselves. Like, you can't watch one interview or you can get one thing and then become huge, because even if Zach is here as a travel hacker, I'm pretty sure that in the social media, like, he knows his stuff about networking. He knows his stuff about how to send the right email, how to find the lead, how to actually message people. He's not just a travel hacker. That's what he loves the most. But behind that, there are certain set of skills. I sound like Liam Neeson in Taken, but there are a certain set of skills that make him what he is, and he worked hard for it. So if you are looking to be a travel hacker, and if you're looking to do what Zach is doing, please do follow Zach's advice. But keep in mind for whatever you try to do, that all the people that we've had in the interviews, all the people that we've had in the group, we're here to try to give you one small little piece of the puzzle and make you understand that you need a certain specific set of skills to do anything. Whether if you want to be a travel hacker, or you just want to be a fashion influencer, or you just want to get your YouTube videos up and running, like you want to do memes, no problem. But you have to have a full overview, and then choose a specific expert like Zach for if you want to do that down that specific road. That's what it is. Like, there is no 1 hour video that's going to help save your life. It's not going to happen. You're not going to become an expert after this interview, but you might actually see a new road that you didn't see before, and you might decide to actually take it and follow Zach's footsteps. That's how simple it is. I mean, and this, like, for me, I never talk. I mean, I'll be honest, I've never talked to anybody, even though we're not a lot of travel influencers, they have travel pages, big networks like Zach, your network is pretty big, I believe. Yeah. I read 15.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, he doesn't have a 5K page or a couple of 100K pages. He has a 15 million followers network. That's right.
Yeah, I have a personal network of just like me and my accounts, like 1 million, and then travel, it's about 15.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you do partnerships. You do, like, you have to do collaborations. You know people on Instagram, like, you close collaborations. That's how things happen. But he has a big network to leverage. Like, he has a big, and I know people that have this kind of network. We have partnership with these kind of networks. But actually, Zach is one guy that did it. It's the guy that, a lot of people start Instagram accounts for the reason because they've heard that somebody's doing something like this. This is the real guy. This is the real deal. And I'm really happy that we've met him, that we've brought him in the group, because as you can see, he's a very genuine guy. And the content here is just real. that's nothing more to say. I'm pretty sure that people expect, like tricks, like having a secret super website to get through that. That's just it. Just knowing Instagram, knowing how to find the right content, and knowing how to network and be passionate. I believe that. I believe anybody has to be passionate enough to do anything like this. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Like it's a lot of work. How many hours do you work per day on a work day? I believe you're a traveler, so sometimes you do travel and that's it, right? Like more 20 hours a week kind of lifestyle, or
yeah. And I mean, it's kind of like the 4-hour work week, So it's like I go in spurts. So it's like maybe I have like a 90-day sprint where I'm in complete hustle mode, working 12, 13 hours a day, 15, right? And then there's other parts where I'm more relaxed, and maybe it's like I only work like, like a few hours a week.
Yeah, I mean,
it depends. Like when I'm traveling, I'm doing events, or I'm speaking, or I'm teaching, or I'm meeting people and networking. It's like, to me, those are really valuable, like good things that I want to focus my energy on and experience the country, right? So I don't want to I want to work hard in phases, and then maintain. I still do my calls. I still do my daily things and rituals and workouts and all of that. So I do have some balance, but yeah, it's like anything in life, it's like finding that nice balance in what works for you.
100%. So guys, we are about to close to end the interview. We have time for one more question. When the interview will be done, it's over, I'll share the link on the comments. I'll share the link on the post so that you can actually check out what Zach teaches. Okay. So, but if you have one more question, if you have more than one question, just please drop them in the comments right now. And we'll try to answer them before the interview is over. And now I want to ask a question just from a travel point of view, like just personal point of view. What has been the best place you've seen in the world? Do you have a favorite one? I hope you do. I mean, people don't, some don't, but.
Honestly, like I feel like Spain. I mean, for me, Spain, and then also like Morocco, right? Because I lived in Granada for about 6 months, and it's the best of both worlds, right? You have the mountains, you have Sierra Nevada, and then you have the beach, like 60 minutes away. It's like really close, and then you can hop on a boat and go to Morocco, which is like 3 hours away. And now that was a really interesting country, and that was the first time I ever breakdanced on grass. Like that's how they do it over there. I mean, back then in 2006. But it was an interesting country. You eat with your hands, you have these different rules, religions, practices, but overall, like the experience was very nice. It's just walking down the street, smelling the different spices and all of that. It was beautiful. So
I had a very good friend of mine that did this Granada, Morocco, and then Portugal. He went for a few months on this trip, and European people may think Northern African countries at this moment in history might be not well, like it's not safe or something like that. But what he actually told me was that Morocco was one of the best places he's ever been to, also from the cultural point of view. Of course, there are religious places where there are religious rules like anywhere in the world, but from like the different culture you're able to experience just a few hours away from Spain and Morocco, that cultural shock is actually something beautiful. And I'm hoping to go to Morocco sometime soon. Hopefully I'll be able to learn something and leverage my Instagram accounts as well. So we have the final question, which is from James. James is asking, what is a shortcut you can leave us with that you learned, or maybe a big mistake you made that can help the people that are actually watching?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, guys, as you reach out to people and you network and you send emails and you do phone calls, you're going to hear rejections. Now, I know rejection hurts. Disappointment sucks, right? But it's never good to burn bridges. right? So if you don't get the response that you want from this person or that person or this company saying, no, we don't want to host you at our hotel. No, we don't want to buy your product, use your service. Don't burn that bridge. Like, respond very kindly and say, hey, I totally understand. Thank you for reading my email. Thank you for taking the time to write back. I appreciate it, and I understand that now maybe not the time, but I would love to stay in touch, and please let me know if you need anything. I'll be here if you need me. Guys, it's all about timing. It's all about timing because, maybe that person is going through something, or this hotel's in peak season, or this person just bought a big product, or, whatever.
You
never know. But it's like if you keep and maintain those relationships and don't burn those bridges, they'll usually come back to you. And then you then they buy, or then they say, hey, like, we'll host you. Good things happen if you keep those connections.
Guys, you might have heard this like a lot of times in these interviews in this group, but actually that's the golden rule. Whatever, either you're selling ClickFunnels, or you're trying to sell your travel services, or you're trying to sell shout-outs, networking. Don't close it. I believe, like you said, in this specific niche might be harder because actually you might have the timing off. You didn't do enough research, so you do not know that specific month the hotel is completely booked because they have the biggest chiropractors convention. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, just make sure you don't close a road, like you don't burn a bridge by yourself. If they do it, that's bad. But if you do it, you've made a mistake, and it's hard to build a bridge again once you've burned it. It's really hard to create a connection again, even if there was a non-existent connection. But you just said, okay, man, who cares? Your hotel sucks. Okay, for example, you're not gonna get that connection ever again. I mean, unless the manager changes or the guy reading the emails changes. I mean, you're not gonna get that connection ever again. So that's thanks a lot for the advice, Zach. And we have let's close it. We have 2 more minutes. Let's close it. I don't know how to actually pronounce the name. I hope that Sine is correct. She's asking, when traveling and getting these deals, are you able to also bring someone with you? Do they cover their costs too? Yes.
They always ask, are you going to bring your friends? And the answer is always yes, right? It's either... it's like these people want you to have a good experience. So they want to give you as much value as possible. So it's always another person included. Totally, sometimes it's half board, sometimes it's full board. Depends on what you offer them and what they offer back, and reaching a mutual agreement. But yes, always you can bring somebody.
And guys, and that's why I invited him on the interview. I just wanted to be friends with him so he could give me free flights. I'm kidding. By the way, Zach, thanks a lot for this. Thanks, man. Yeah. Thanks a lot for this. Guys, you have 1 hour of live here to rewatch again, to actually get the golden nuggets again. You have one link that is about to be dropped that will show you how to actually do it effectively. And if this is your goal, if you want to do what Zach is doing, please, guys, follow him and do it. We can teach you, you come in the group, you have all you need to actually grow an account. You have everything you need. There is no other group that gives you what we give to actually grow an Instagram account. There is none other. And you come here, you use Instagram, and we hope that by using Instagram the way we teach you, you find people like Zach that can show you what your real goal is, what your real way to use Instagram for you is, and then you can actually make a living with it. So guys, please do it, and don't be afraid. I mean, you're going to hear a shitload of no's anyhow.
Yes.
So
just do it. Just do it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Awesome,
it's been a pleasure, Enrico. And guys, I'm here if you need me. If you have any questions, and I'm 100% you can do this because I'm doing it and everybody else is doing it. So why not you?
Exactly. So guys, please, I think Zach is always available. Just tag him in the comments if you have any specific questions. Tag me in the comments if you have any specific questions, so we can keep this video up in the group. People can actually watch it more and have the opportunity to live their dream. Guys, thanks a lot, and stay tuned for the next episode of the Avenic Interviews. See you next time.